and underway. It's a beautiful afternoon here in Dewsbury. We've got quite a breeze, though. It's quite an exposed pitch, it has to be said, in a bit of a valley, so the swirling winds may have a bit of an effect. The forecast says that we might have a little bit of rain as well, so we will see how things turn out for these two sides. Wigan Warriors, of course, with aspirations of making sure that they get their hands on the big silverware come the end of the season again. As for Huddersfield Giants, with so many players that they've had injured, now coming back into the side, they might have a few points to prove.
Yeah, for sure. You know, a lot of noise was made. The kick-off there just bounced kindly for the Warriors, who get the ball back. A perfect start for them.
Very kindly indeed. Liam Farrell, who's back in the side this afternoon, bursting his way through the 20.
Just going back to that point there, you know, a lot of noise made about Hull KR. Obviously the celebrations after the cup, and for Wigan, you know, I've no doubt a couple of those pictures last night, if they were watching, would sting and hurt them. They have to close that gap this afternoon.
Here it is then with Wigan. Harry Smith getting it out towards Junior and Sember, getting very close to the line, and he will be paid a lot of attention, I'm sure, by the Huddersfield defenders this afternoon, as O'Neill gets it away to the right-hand side. Down the hands for Farrell to come in again for Wigan Warriors. This is the final one for the visiting side, playing in their purple strip this afternoon, as Smith gets it wide out towards the left-hand side for Jake Wardle, trying to squirm his way through the tackles, but he's held up just short.
Yeah, just dragged down short there by Sam Hewitt. Wardle, you've got to defend him well. His footwork, he's able to beat people one-on-one for fun. These are difficult carries now, and the Warriors, yeah, the champions, are just going to force Huddersfield back over the line. It's a wicked start.
And Huddersfield straight on the back foot immediately from this side, who will no doubt be pushing hard to move their way closer and closer to the top of the tree as the remainder of the season goes on. It's going to be George Flanagan, who was probably a little bit surprised just by that first ball from the kickoff as it bounced in front of him, then back towards the Wigan attackers. And here they come again through the middle, just over the 40-metre line there. Both coaches in boxes at the back of the stands over on the far side of the ground here at Dewsbury. So Wigan come away through the middle, and with Cade Ellis, who is wrapped up in the tackle. Wigan rather have a incredible record against Huddersfield, winning 12 out of the last 13 in Super League. Here's Havard.
6 again called there, Fraser. More possession now. Here comes Harry Smith. Farimond.
Great player, young Farimond, playing a second game in succession as they go into the corner. Plenty of tackles in the bank here as well, as Farimond just lets it off easily for Liam Byrne. Byrne just pushed back 10 metres short here. Wigan with O'Neill calling for it. Down the line it goes. Smith with a backwards pass, and it may be Wardle who gets away again, but he's tackled once more just short of the line. Knocking on the door here, Wigan Warriors, is Smith again, pushing forward to Havard. Another battering ram of a player. This is the last one. They're lining up away to the left-hand side, including Junior and Sember. And here is Sember going for the corner. Gets play back in, though. They keep the ball alive well here with Jay Field now. Little grubber kick through. They're going chasing after this one, and Flanagan gobbles it up quickly.
Yeah, right place. George Flanagan there just to defuse the kick. It was a neat one as well from Jay Field, but the Giants will just be breathing a sigh of relief. There's only been 3.5 minutes played, but this is the first time they've really touched the ball. It's important that they get through this set. Tuilola here takes off. There was an error there, isn't it? Oh, yeah.
Just blowing the whistle.
That's not what they needed, Fraser.
Just after they managed to take away a little bit of that pressure, they come up with the error here as Tuilola loses the ball.
A sloppy start from the Giants, it has to be said.
Shot clock on.
The carry out from the corner, forced over. Then a 6 again given away off the back of the dropout. Then when they have the ball in hand, it's play 2, and they come up with a mistake. And they're just inviting the champions to post points.
Well, in the early season, Huddersfield were ahead in so many of the games that they played, but They've been on the losing side when it comes to the full 80 time and time again, and now they're under pressure again here with Ethan Havard for Wigan to the 10-metre line. O'Neill just waiting out wide to the right-hand side. Farrimond, quick hands towards Field, and that's a decent tackle from the Huddersfield defenders.
It is, ball and all.
Farrimond again, Cade Ellis now. Still can't quite find a way through. Some resolute Huddersfield defending here, Wigan. O'Neill goes away to the right-hand side. Farrimond brings it back in, skipping and trying to roll his way through the tackles and still going here. Young Farrimond. Just a metre or so short. No, they're going to try and run this one short. They're going all the way back now with Wardle. And again, neat little chip over the top, and that's well picked up again by Huddersfield's defenders, and they managed to keep it in play.
Yeah, Gagai does really well there. Rides the tackle from Liam Farrell, manages just to stay in play. And the difficult carries now. That's 3 plays gone.
Tiny Mill bundled to the ground by Wigan's defenders as they get it away again for Gagai. And at the moment, they're really struggling to try and get any sort of field position outside of their own 30 metres or so. As Cujo hoists it down the line to Oliver Wilson.
There has to be a good kick coming in here, Fraser.
Well, it goes to Clune, and he's taken a deflection. I don't think they quite knew what was going on there as Huddersfield have come away with it once again, and Clune could be away. He's done a great job of keeping the ball in play. Flanagan will pick up the loose ball, goes for a kick again. It's a long, long way, that one. That was desperation stakes there.
I actually think that's a result for the Giants, though, Fraser, because it's the Warriors who have to get back, set behind the ball. They're still not back, and Semba's not quite there. So they'll get a little bit of respite here. An orthodox end to the set for sure.
Just look how quickly the Huddersfield players were up on their line there to try and put that pressure on, as he said.
Yeah, they just needed to get away from their own end.
Hold. Goal 0.
Jack Farrimond then with an offload to Liam Marshall, who's playing his 200th Wigan game this afternoon. He's still level with Pat Richards on 147 for the most tries ever scored in Super League by a Wigan player.
Another stellar campaign from the winger. Most metres in Super League. There's an awful lot of good things for Matty Pete's side, and he might get his hands on the ball again here. He dumps it to Nsemba. Well dealt with that.
To bring him down. He's a big, big unit, Junior Nsemba. There's Cade Ellis, offloads wide to Farrimond, and it's just a stepping back ball there from Eckersley. He did well to hold on to that, and they pass the ball around so quickly, and Wardle comes away with it. He's got Marshall away to his left, but he's still going on his own instead, Jake Wardle.
He's lost the ball.
He's lost it. And you can tell by the reaction of the Huddersfield fans behind us, they are absolutely delighted to see that happen.
Yeah, it looks a threat down this left-hand side. Wardle decides to carry it. And under pressure from Gagai and Tuilola here, he spills the ball. This game's just livened up, hasn't it?
All of a sudden, Huddersfield have really put themselves in this game. And a huge amount of noise coming from the fans who are literally just below us here in the stand, which is named after someone called Mike Stevenson. Ever heard of him, Carl? If you are watching, Steve-O, we wish you all the very best, my friend. 10 metres from their own line then, Huddersfield, as they bring it out with Bibby to the 20, although it's not really the 20 if you want to look at it scientifically, but that's how it's marked. It's a smaller pitch, but it's the same for everybody.
Yeah, it sure is. And discipline's key when you play on these smaller fields. Do you give away a penalty, Fraser? You're back defending your own 20-30 metres in the blink of an eye.
Fulford with the quick hands to
decent carry
over the halfway line, yeah. Fulford again. Howell making his second appearance for Huddersfield after signing last month on a 2.5-year contract. A high ball from Clune, picked up nicely by Marshall.
It's a decent chase there. He escapes the clutches of Flanagan, but then the penalty's given away, just as I said. Discipline is key this afternoon.
Flanagan was all over that, wasn't he? As the ball was flying forward. But, the penalty given away. He's been a real live wire. George Flanagan's coming into the side now and going straight into the fans. Just away to our right-hand side, giving themselves much of an advantage there, Wigan.
Well, that's another win for Huddersfield then. Only 10 metres maybe, that kick. It came here for his foot. A bit off the side there from Farriman. Ethan Havard, how good is it to see him back? His third appearance in 2025. 56 minutes in the back row, last time out against Salford. He starts up front tonight, this afternoon, sorry.
Here's another willing runner in, Liam Byrne, for the visitors to the halfway line. Wilford and Wilson involved in the tackle. As O'Neill gets it away to Farriman, and now Liam Farrell. This may be a little bit of a glimpse of the future to come for Huddersfield if Ken Davey gets his way and builds Huddersfield a smaller stadium in the not too distant future. As Wigan kick it forward with Harry Smith here, and Flanagan takes it very well, pouches it. Great episode, by the way, of the Bench podcast with John and Jenna, with Ken Davey, Huddersfield owner and chairman, talking about the future of the club. To try and build them a stadium of their own in the city.
Oh, that's loose.
Offload comes out here, and it's a loose pass, and Wigan will make the best of it.
Yeah, that's a poor mistake there from Mill. You know, the Huddersfield Giants, they just need to get through the sets here, because they're just inviting the Warriors too much possession down this end of the field, and in the end, he'll get exposed for sure. I've no doubt about that. It may be the play coming now.
Ellis out wide, it comes into Nsemba. Nsemba, great offload down the line to Wardle, to Marshall! Liam Marshall in the corner for Wigan Warriors, and he becomes the club's all-time leading Super League try-scorer with 175 on his 200th appearance for the club. A special, special occasion for a special player.
Liam Marshall goes in. It was Junior Nsemba that provided the offload, that created the catch and pass from field, but it all came about through a sloppy mistake there from Huddersfield. And Emil just offloading that ball, couldn't resist. And Nsemba on a short ball, they get underneath him, the catch and pass from field, and then Wardle just does what he has to do, draws the man in, supplies the ball out to Liam Marshall, who goes in for that record try in a Wigan shirt.
Where he's been on the wing for all 15 games for Wigan this season. He scored a hat-trick against Huddersfield last season. 2017 he made his debut. Seems a long, long time ago, and he's going to be around for a long, long time for Matt Pete and his side in the future, because he contracted until 2028.
So that tally of 148 will be a lot more to it. By the time his career, he's done a wonderful winger. I mentioned the work that he does out of backfield, his ability to find quick play of the balls and really help get his teammates on the front foot. But his try scoring is second to none. And Adam Kieran with a difficult kick to come here, 81%. 47 goals he's slotted. Could this be 48?
It is from the tightest of angles, and the wind against him as well. Huddersfield fans do their best to make as much noise as possible for him, make it as difficult as they can.
He's pulled it.
He's pulled it very, very slightly, but perhaps a little marker there of the conditions here this afternoon, because there is quite a swirling wind, especially for the kickers.
Yeah, for sure. You see this try again unfold. Nsemba. You have to put your body in front of him. Both of the Giants players go low. He gets that offload away. Well, Luke Robinson must be scratching his head, because a couple of mistakes, 6 against, penalties, have to start clean.
Flanagan hoists it, and it's only just in the in-goal area there as Marshall collected it. Awful lot of love for Luke Robinson at this club, of course, given the fact that he's had so many players injured over the course of this season, but they have slowly but surely started to trickle back into the side. And it is this kind of time of year, Kyle, particularly after the Challenge Cup, that we do see some interesting results start to come in. 13 minutes on the clock here, and the Huddersfield fans are applauding because this is the 9th anniversary of the passing of Ronan Costello, who sadly died after suffering a brain injury while playing for the Huddersfield Academy against Salford back in June 2016. 13 was his shirt number, and the Huddersfield fans here giving him and his memory a minute's applause. Here they are in possession, though, the Giants. As Gargay goes down under the challenge. It's away to the left-hand side for Tiny Milne. Doing the tackle for Wigan. The referee blows his whistle. He wants that ball just played a little bit further back. Wolford was just trying to snatch an extra yard or two there on what is, as we mentioned, a very small pitch. Here comes Tristan Powell. Good solid debut for Tristan Powell a couple of weeks ago in the game against Lee. 40 minutes he played. As Lee were pushed all the way, Huddersfield did look like they were out of it midway through the second half, but pulled it back to within 4 points. So certainly a lot of spirit being shown by this Huddersfield side.
A little bit more spirit there in that kick chase. Adam Clune putting the ball on top of Zach Eckersley's head. Lola here sprinting down there. And here comes Havard.
Wigan with those big guys up front who can just steal an extra few post-contact meters to their side. Just a little bit more advantage squeezed out. Ed Ellis being one of them. And another one is Liam Byrne. That's a great tackle gone in there, though. Just a reminder by Zach Wolford that Wigan won't have it all their own way this afternoon. Flanagan goes chasing after this one. Will it go out? He's escorting it all the way. He really had to keep his eyes on that one.
Yeah, just a fraction too long. It just rolled one more turn in favour of George Flanagan.
The Wigan players were closing in on him very quickly as well. Here's Bibby to the halfway line. Lollahea waiting just behind him. Flanagan has come into the front line as well. Here it is with Cudjoe.
18th season for Leroy Cudjoe Fraser, still going, still one of the Giants' key and top performers. Wilson, they win a penalty.
37 years of age and still looks like one of the fittest players on the pitch.
Averaging 35 tackles a game. Leroy Cudjoe, an awful lot of hard work. And you're right, at his age, he's still performing incredibly well, keeps his place in the starting team, which is no easy means at 37, let me tell you. They've got an opportunity here. The first time that they've advanced into the 20-metre zone of the Warriors.
Wolford, Lollahea, quick hands, down the line it goes. Wrapped up in the tackle was Greenwood. As Cudjoe now offloads quickly to Wilson. Wilson getting the attention of Nsemba and Havard, and he's still trying to steal an extra yard or two. As Clune now wrapped up by 3. Knocking on the door here. The Huddersfield players. Wolford gets it out wide. Lollahea into the corner for Flanagan. George Flanagan bursts his way over for the Huddersfield Giants. And you could sense that it was coming. The pressure was being put on the Wigan defenders. And George Flanagan finding a tiny bit of space and goes over the line.
Yeah, wonderful work try there from Huddersfield. It's the first opportunity that they've had down there. That'll be the disappointing part for the champions. They weren't able to defend their own line, and he just gets on the outside of Adam Kieran, who takes the lead runner. Zach Eckersley doesn't follow in, and the space is there. And Flanagan, what we've seen already this season, he can finish when an opportunity presents itself. And he's got a chance now of giving the Giants the lead inside the opening quarter. And you have to say, Fraser, it's probably against the run of play. The Warriors have had most of the possession in key parts of the field, but the Giants have hit back.
Well, Flanagan now gets the opportunity to convert his own try. George Flanagan has been a real live wire since coming into the Huddersfield Giants side. He's appeared in 12 of the opening 15 games. Ended a 6-game sequence when he was absent against St Helens, but returned to start at fullback, scoring a try and 4 goals in the game against Lee a couple of weeks ago.
Well, that was last time out, and already he's got a try. Can he get the first of those goals and replicate that? Well, 24 points is enough to win a game at this level, but it's the other side that's been difficult for them. He kicks that goal, and it's the Giants who lead this afternoon, 6-4 against the champions.
Midway through the first half, and Huddersfield Giants strike back with this try from George Flanagan.
Yeah, the line from Sam Hewitt does enough. It manipulates the defence, it makes them make a read. Adam Kieran gets too interested in it. He suppose he has to do. Zach Eckersley doesn't quite follow in, so there's a number short somewhere. Flanagan slides over.
Wigan then to get us underway again as sunshine sweeps across the pitch here at the Flair Stadium in Dewsbury, and a bit of confusion in the back line for Huddersfield there before they eventually get hold of it, and Wilson now being pushed back by a combination of Wigan players. In towards the 20-metre line, as is said. But it really doesn't mean a huge amount in terms of actual metres. Field possession is just going to be so important here. This smaller pitch. Wolford waiting for it. Wolford, who is a self-concerned rugby league nerd. He said he watched every single game in round 1 when he first arrived here, just to get an idea of how things would turn out for him, and he's certainly been a fan's favourite amongst the Huddersfield Cowbell Army.
Interesting tactic there. Again, Tuilola here just decides to put boot to ball. Goes for a 7-tackle set. But it just turns this Wigan Warriors team around.
Cruz Leeming has come on as a substitute for the Warriors. Standing waiting at dummy half rather.
Yeah, back when a team where it all began for Cruz Leeming. 122 games for the Giants.
Quite a few players on this pitch that have played for
both clubs over the years. Yeah.
You have to look at Luke Robinson, for example.
Well, he's taking off here, is Leeming.
Leeming getting deep into Huddersfield territory. Cade Ellis getting it away to the left-hand side. Wigan again getting close to the Huddersfield line. Leeming, Smith, Field, long pass out wide towards Marshall. Marshall right in the corner. Has he finished this one? Has he got it down? Referee will surely want to have a close look at this one, but Liam Marshall has gone flying over in the corner for the Wigan Warriors.
We have a try.
The on-field decision is a try, but it'll be Aaron Moore who will have the last word.
So it's tackle 5, and we have an on-field decision of a try. So we'll go slow on this. We're looking at touchline and grounding. So Marshall's going towards the line. Still going towards the line. Still going towards the line. Let's just go back on that, please. Let's go back. He's got the red boots on, Liam Marshall, so we'll keep going here. Just keep playing it through. Keep playing it through. And Liam Marshall's foot touches the line before he grounds the ball. Thank you, I've seen all I need.
scramble across and deny Marshall a second.
So the opportunity to put a bit more distance between himself and Pat Richards, as record Super League try scorer, is denied momentarily for Liam Marshall. Here's Greenwood for the Huddersfield Giants. Wolford waiting just behind him towards the halfway line. Tony Milne now for the home side. Clouding over a little bit here as Ashton Golding. It's another run through the middle for the Giants. To the wide, to the right-hand side. A high ball. It's a swirler, that one from Adam Clune. Very well taken, though.
It's another good chase from the Giants, though, as well. They're working really hard in that department. And it's now Huddersfield Giants' turn to try and attack Wigan's attack. Getting off the line, restricting the meters here.
Adam Kieran to the 10. Waiting for support. Jack Ferryman finding Liam Marshall. Turning and bouncing off the Huddersfield defenders. Leeming waits behind him to Farrell. Greenwood in the tackle. Leeming urging everybody to get forward and closer to the play of the ball. As this one is hoisted again right into the middle. Another difficult one for George Flanagan. That's the second time the ball has bounced awkwardly for him.
Yeah, just held up in that wind there, the kick from Harry Smith. It was a wonderful set defensively there from the Giants. Smith kicking the ball on his own 20-metre line. And the net result is this. The next play, the Giants will cross over the halfway line into the territory of Wigan Warriors once more. George King with a decent carry, meters after contact. We're growing into this game here, Fraser.
They are slowly but surely. After a shaky start, they're really causing Wigan all sorts of problems now with Joe Greenwood. Wolford waits for it, goes to his right-hand side for Lolohea. Missed out ball to George King, who did really well to keep hold of that under real pressure.
They might challenge this.
Has he?
Yeah, they've got to challenge this, Fraser.
Leroy Cudjoe having words with the referee, and I think he's not happy with that decision of there being a knock-on against Huddersfield.
Regardless, you lose it to the man anyway, so...
I thought they were going to challenge it, but unless it's big... Matui Lolohea tries to do perhaps a little bit too much there, and it looks like it hits Nsemba's arm. Maybe got away with that one.
Can't challenge a forward pass, which is what the ruling was there.
Was it forward?
That was what it was ruled as.
Ah, I missed that.
That's what I'm being told is the decision that would come through from the referee, as Leeming has dropped the ball here.
Yeah, so they've compounded an error with an error here. A forward pass, then a penalty given away. Ashton Golding just tries to readjust and get over the top of Cruz Leeming, and doing so knocks the ball out. The penalty given away. Tyler Dupree off the bench. And Patrick
Down in the tackle.
And Mago as well.
And that's the worst thing you want to see when you're up against a side that have big lads in there. But here's the biggest of the lot in Patrick Mago. It's Mago and Tyler Dupree coming on. Big guys. Field. And shall pass, say the Huddersfield defenders. Leeming towards Ellis. Free again in the Huddersfield tackle. He's done well there, getting the ball away. Leeming out towards Field, a little touch out towards Farrell. Gain some more meters here, Wigan Warriors. And once again, the Huddersfield defensive line is put under serious pressure. Smith gets it away to Ferryman. Ferryman going for the line himself. They can't get hold of him, but they do it the second attempt with Flanagan.
An important tackle, but there's one more to deal with.
Leeming, little chip through, looking for Mago. Mago trying to hold off the ball, get it away to the right-hand side, and he finds Liam Farrell. Farrell has got support in the shape of Kieran. It takes a touch here. It's all over the place before eventually Ashton Golding dives down on the ball and Huddersfield with a sigh of relief.
Well, the Giants do enough just to land bodies onto that loose ball. Jake Bibby does well out of backfield here.
It's a terrific run for Bibby, relieving a little bit of that pressure for the Huddersfield Giants. Extra metres being gained here as well by Tane Milne. Wolford shouting at the referee. He doesn't think that the Wigan players are onside, and a big challenge goes in there.
Yeah, keep your eye on that one. And Semba just lifting Burgess up.
Now that is a battle of two heavyweights if ever there was.
Two huge men.
Wolford again, waiting just behind King. Lollahea, offload to Ashton Golding. This is the last one. Wolford looking for the kick for Clune. Clune going for the corner. Everybody piling forward for Huddersfield Giants. And they put Wigan again under pressure on their own line.
Yeah, another neat end to the set there from the Giants. But so often they've ended up giving a penalty away and undoing all the good work. Zach Eckersley gets a neat carry in behind the ruck. 10 metres gained.
Leeming, who adds another dimension to Wigan Warriors when he comes onto the field. As Farrell brings it to the halfway line for the last tackle. Field looks like he's going to push this one out for Smith to get the kick away. It is high, and again it bounces awkwardly, but Clune comes up with it. A decent run from Clune before he's eventually brought down by Cade Ellis. Flanagan waiting just behind him. The Huddersfield fans getting very impatient. The ball needs to be played quicker, they feel. As Golding goes down in the challenge. Again,
They're pushing it at the Warriors.
Again, they will be testing the patience of Liam Moore. Wolford waits. Farrell in the tackle. Wolford comes back inside, finds Golding. Happy to try and throw the ball around here, Huddersfield, as Milner almost found himself a gap. And Semba challenging him though. Clune though, running for the corner. There's a man in the way there. It's Sam Hewitt.
They just get the timing wrong there.
Referee making sure that the ball is played from the right spot as Lollahea comes away with it down to Greenwood to the left-hand side. Greenwood with a back pass out towards Flanagan. They're getting wrapped up again, but still keeping it alive. Kicked away, and eventually Jack Farrimond picks up the ball, but the referee has already blown the whistle for offside.
I think he's called out George Flanagan for offside. A scruffy end to the set. And some offloads coming in to Huddersfield's play. Getting their arm free, that second phase.
With half an hour gone here, Kyle, Luke Robinson, I think, will be pretty happy with the way that his side have matched Wigan.
We're more than happy for us. We're absolutely delighted. This is a side that's only won once this season, and they're in front against the champions here.
The difficulty they've had, though, has been keeping or maintaining a lead so far this year. Many a time they've been in front, but as you say, wins have been few and far between. What a result it would be if they were to get something this afternoon. Leeming, waiting at dummy half. Farrimond. Still going, Jack Farrimond, and wriggling away from tackle after tackle.
As well.
Just 19 years of age, Farrimond, as they get it out wide to the left-hand side for Wardle. Wardle is brought down, and that'll be the turnover.
Yeah, they've really favoured this left edge of Wigan through Wardle and Semba Marshall. The Giants have answered pretty much everything apart from what Liam Marshall tried early on in the piece.
Milne.
He's had a decent afternoon.
He's had some good ball carries. That's true. Clune just waving his arms around. He wants the ball played quicker, and I think there is a little bit of frustration among the Huddersfield players that Wigan aren't getting off the tackles as quickly as they would like, and the referee is keeping a close eye on things. As Golding goes down in this one. Wolford wants it quickly. Does well for Clune and finds Lollahea. Down the line it goes. Will be coming away with it towards the corner. And Huddersfield again, having been up against their own try line, are suddenly knocking on the Wigan door again. A crossfield kick in towards the corner, pouched by Liam Marshall. Marshall does well to get away from the defenders, but can't get away from Ashton Golding.
Yeah, it was an inch-perfect kick, but then again, look what's happened here. Another penalty. They do lots of good things in this game, but more often than not, they've let their opposition off the hook. A couple of cheap penalties, I think now. Quick tap here, Smith.
It's that kind of thing that will be so frustrating for a coach. Luke Robinson will have a lot to be happy about, but just those errors that keep coming into his side's game will be what's frustrating him at this stage. Wigan in possession then. Patrick Mago bulldozing his way through the challenges. Burgess is in there and the ball's come free. And the referee says Wigan will get the ball back.
Yeah, it comes out very, very quickly. It's right in front of where me and you are positioned. And you think of Wolford here, he just does enough on that ball to push it out. The fans around us don't agree, but I think, oh, horrible kick.
Well, straight down Flanagan's throat, and I think the wind has probably caught that one. It's a gift for George Flanagan and Huddersfield that, and they've got a bit more field position. There's 6 more again here.
Wigan could potentially be in a spot of bother here.
The referee's seen another infringement and is calling Liam Farrell over for a quick chat.
That's the first knock on. That's the what I'm talking. That's the first one. So we're going back for the first one.
We're going back for the first knock on.
The one on Flanagan. It's one-on-one and it's stripped forward.
They're saying the one-on-one here with Flanagan.
That one there.
And it was knocked forward by a Wigan player.
Go now, boys. Shot clock on.
I was just saying there that things are just, you know, that little kick there from Smith that doesn't find touch, and on this tight field, perhaps it's suiting Huddersfield Giants better. Because the Warriors, they're just a little bit off this afternoon, you feel.
And yeah, they've been the highest scorers in recent weeks. They've won each of their last 8 games in the competition by an average margin of 25 points.
Yeah.
Scoring over 40 and conceding fewer in 10.
Oh, big shot
than 10 in the last 2. Huddersfield, though, with a real opportunity to try and put a spanner in the works as far as that record is concerned with Golding.
Well, they're looking more likely to be the next team to score.
The wind at their sails here, Huddersfield Giants. Hewitt just 10 metres short of the Wigan line. Wolford waits, goes for the short side instead. He might have just spotted a tiny gap there. It's quickly closed up by Wigan. And Wigan defenders being shoved off all over the place here as Wolford has a word, and there's a hand gone in there rather cheekily.
No, wait for me, wait.
Huddersfield, however,
and the Giants
chance to reset themselves.
A flat here.
Clune, little grubber kick through, everyone chasing after it, and Farrimond makes a safe pair of hands.
The Giants' line was flat. They knew that that kick was just going to be short and rolled in there by Clune. They force a goal line dropout. The Warriors have got an important couple of minutes ahead of them here.
Terrific atmosphere being built up by the Huddersfield fans just below us, and you think that this is really what Ken Davey is talking about when he says he wants to see the club in a smaller stadium so that they can build up atmospheres like this and make it more and more hostile and difficult for the away team, and more encouraging for the home side, who are in the ascendancy at the moment. 6 points to 4 they lead with just a few minutes remaining in the first half as they get it away to the left-hand side. Lollahea with quick hands to Greenwood, who is still building his way through the line. Played short. They get it through towards King. George King bursting over from short range for Huddersfield Giants. They'd applied the pressure again, And eventually the dam bursts and George King is through.
Well, this wasn't in the script, was it? I said the Giants looked more likely to score, and score they do through George King. His first try for Huddersfield in his second spell. It's his fourth outing here. And he gets the ball down. And Luke Robinson will be absolutely delighted with what his side have served up in the opening 40 under the cosh early doors. They're going to go in 12-4 up here.
Under the cosh they were big time, particularly right from the kickoff. And, George Flanagan misunderstood the bounce of the ball and they were really on the back foot on the off, but you've got to hand it to him the way that they've come back into this game, weathering the storm. And now they are 2 tries to the good and a chance to extend the lead to 8 points just before we go into the sheds at half-time. And the Huddersfield fans, if that is the case, will be in dreamland, Kyle.
Well, they sure will. And it's the hometown boy in George King. He's had to wait an awful long time to make his debut for his hometown club. Signed on a 4-year deal from Hull KR, and he's delivered off the bench this afternoon.
Flanagan, simpler kick this time, and he makes it 2 from 2. And who on earth would have thought that at this stage in the game, as we approach half-time, Huddersfield Giants would be leading Wigan by 12 points to 4.
Yeah, there wouldn't have been many out there, let me tell you that. You know, I just sense there, when Harry Smith doesn't find that kick, this swirling wind, this small stadium, these unfamiliar waters, if you like. Yes, I know it's the same for the Giants. They've had the luxury of training here all week. I just feel that they've handled the occasion a little bit better than the visiting team. There's still plenty of time left, don't get me wrong. It's a terrific 40 minutes there for the Giants, and the scoreboard reflects that.
2 bites at the cherry for Harry Smith there as the ball fell off the kicking tee. That gives you an idea of just how much of a blustery wind we've got blowing here, which has made it difficult for both sides. George King, you mentioned, as he misses out the ball there, sustaining that terrible injury in pre-season back in November when he broke and dislocated his ankle. So, so many injuries at Huddersfield, but now that they have got a lot of the players back, they are looking, as I said right at the beginning, Kyle, a far more formidable side.
They certainly are. And Tuilola here there with an error inside the final minute, just about.
Well, that's the area where they've really got to clear things up, isn't it?
This is really important set here for the Giants, because the next 60 seconds could perhaps change the complex of this game.
Adam Kieran for the visitors. 3 in the tackle. Leeming. Here comes Wardle. Wardle scores. Burgess with a big tackle.
Burgess with a bell ringer there.
And Samba gets it away to Smith. Quick hands from Ellis. Down the line it goes. Marshall gets a hand to it, but they can't quite hang on, or can they? Referee says that's a Huddersfield scrum.
Yeah, well defended there from Jake Bibby. Of course, a former Wigan Warrior himself. Just shuts downfield, forces the mistake, and it's the Giants who are going to go in after 40 minutes with a 12-4 lead against all the odds. There wouldn't have been many people who would have given them that.
You can see, can't you, confidence really starting to course through the Huddersfield players' veins right now. And having defended that set so close to the end of the first half, in actual fact, the whistle has gone from Liam Moore, and that will be the end of the first half. And Huddersfield are going into the sheds in the lead, and they are worthy of that lead.
They sure are, Fraser. 12-4 score. Tries from Flanagan and King. The wind is behind them now, crucially.
And that could be a big factor.
It could be. A couple of the kicks in the first half from the champions just weren't quite executed.
What do you think that man is going to be, will have been saying to his team at half-time?
You know, I think they'd have been given a bit of a rocket, if I'm honest, because they haven't quite been where they need to be. This is a tough game. This is a tough afternoon that they're in, and certainly a tough 40 minutes ahead. And they have to approach it with a ruthless mentality. They've been a little bit ordinary this afternoon.
Well, Huddersfield have lost all their 7 home games in Super League so far. However, they haven't lost 8 in a row at home since 2001. So is this going to be the game when they are home away from home where they turn that record round?
And just on the champions, you know, they've only lost twice. You know, that 1-0 in round 1 to Leigh. But then they lost 12-10 at Headingley to the Leeds Rhinos. Jay Field wasn't playing that day. No Bevan French today. And how often has that been highlighted, that when either one of or both of them don't play, the Warriors sometimes are susceptible to a loss.
They are very, very important players indeed for the Wigan Warriors. But they have plenty of good players in stock as well, one of which is there, Tyler Dupree, as he goes down in the challenge. And Huddersfield happy to do it tough in these early stages by defending, as Leeming gets it away to Mago and Smith to Nsemba.
We've dealt with him fairly comfortably so far this afternoon. That offload, of course, created Liam Marshall's try.
Smith with a high kick, a first tester. Oh, Flanagan, and he's lost it here. They're pushing it in. And they're in here, Wigan. And it looks as though the ball has been touched down by a Wigan player. The referee, of course, will want to have another look at this one. So we'll go to Aaron Moore once more for the decision.
Tackle 5. We have a try. First of all, confirm kick chaser is onside. Goes backwards off Huddersfield, and then it isn't grounded by the defender, please, before Wigan. Thank you. Yeah, on a look.
Okay, it's tackle 5, and we have an on-field decision of a try. So it's from a kick, so we'll pause it on the foot. So we'll look at the chasers here. We know Marshall's in front there. We know the chaser, Field, has both feet behind the ball. Play it through. Play it through there, please. Look at the impact. We know Liam Marshall is passive there, but we're going on the catch here. Going on the catch. It's now lost backwards by George Flanagan, so we can play that through. We'll keep going through here. Keep going. It's been lost there by Huddersfield. And then can we just go tight in on the grounding, please? Probably camera 1. This will be a good angle. So we'll just play it through from here. So we know it's lost back by George Flanagan. He just loses that ball backwards. Gaga then misses the ball. He misses it. And then just go slow on this, please. Just go slow on the grounding. Go really slow on this. Really slow. Yeah, he misses the ball there. Keep going. And then Jai Field grounds the ball. I've seen all I need.
Well, an innovative piece of work from Wigan Warriors. A mistake from George Flanagan, and Jay Field has touched the ball down for a second Wigan try, which puts them right back in this game. We said that the mistakes and the errors could prove hugely costly for Huddersfield, and so it turns out to be.
Yeah, it's a perfect start from Wigan in this second 40. And Jai Field, Super League's top try scorer, adds another one to his name. That's his 16th. I can't for the life of me understand why Gagai would try and risk throwing that ball dead. Just ground the ball. We saw one in the Challenge Cup final with young Lindop, who tries to usher it over. You feel that a coach perhaps would just, you're there, just ground the ball. Perhaps easier said than done.
Adam Kieran then with a second chance to add the extras. He was leading the Super League goal chart with 47 going into this game. And this time, with the wind behind him, he makes sure of it.
And nearly kicks it onto the main road as well.
We are very close to the main road here. I don't know how many people driving past on a Saturday afternoon or a Sunday afternoon get a ball whacked into the windscreen as they go driving past here, because the wind causes all sorts of problems, and it has done here.
And you just see the kick there was perfect.
Stay behind.
Gagai just ground the ball. The Giants are still leading by 2 points here.
And that could prove hugely important. But plenty of time to be played here, as again, once more, the wind causing problems for George Flanagan. Gets it away this time. Look at how it's coming back here.
What a take.
Did so well to take that, because he'd set himself in one position but had to grab the ball from a completely different one. Mago trying to burst through Greenwood and Wolford. Leamy in towards Dupree.
Back.
Leaming again, quick hands for the visitors. And Hewitt there desperately trying to knock the hands away from Cade Ellis. Smith now quickly again. Here comes Jay Field, try scorer for Wigan. High swirling kick again. This time Flanagan does well and diffuses it in goal.
Yeah, that's that wind again, just taking that kick perhaps too long. Flanagan just catches that ball, a 7-tackle set.
Dummy half, quickly ringing it through into the middle. It was Sam Helsall who gets it back out with Ashton Golding on the halfway line. Wolford just behind him. Goes short for one of the Huddersfield try scorers, George King. And you can see from that picture just how short that 40 to 30 metre line is. It's not a full 10. It's fair to say. Wolford to Clune. Clune to Golding. Golding keeps it alive, great play. Clune with a chip forward, it comes off a Wigan player, but they grab hold of the loose ball and regain possession.
Well, they still had a tackle in the bank, but Clune decides to put boot to ball. Zach Eckersley, who tries to get his side a quick play of the ball, but he's well met, and here comes Marshall into Burgess.
Big shove back there on Liam Marshall. 5 minutes played in the second half. Apologies, we've got 1 or 2 issues as far as the clock is concerned on your screens, but we'll keep you up to date with how long is left in this game. Plenty of time as far as Wigan are concerned to try and get themselves ahead. It's a lovely run from Bevan Frenches, and Semba comes away with it now over the halfway line and pushing players all over the shot as he goes. Oh, lovely run from Jay Field in towards the edge of the area, and he's had the ball pinched off him. What's the referee going to do here? Because there was a big challenge went in just before that. Jay Field was pickpocketed there. They're going to challenge this one, Huddersfield Giants. Yeah, I had a feeling that might be the case. So, sure enough, Liam Moore blows the whistle, and the captain's challenge comes in for Aaron Moore to sort out.
Huddersfield are challenging the on-field decision of a knock-on. But then a penalty after. We're challenging the on-field decision of a penalty. I'm giving a penalty, yeah, but first knock-on bit first.
So it's tackle 4, we've got a captain's challenge. Huddersfield are challenging the ruling of a penalty. So Field's in possession here. And then we're looking at what Lolohea does. So we know he rips the ball out there, Lolohea, and it goes forward. We'll just carry on from here. Yeah, just carry it on through here, please. Carry it on through here. And then Lola here picks the ball up. So it isn't, so it is a challenge successful because it's not a penalty. However, it's a knock-on by Huddersfield, so it will be a scrum.
Okay, boys.
Well, the challenge is successful, but
Challenge is successful.
perhaps not in the way they were hoping there.
It's not a penalty.
Huddersfield, it's not a penalty, but it is a scrum.
Well, they might have saved them 2 points because Adam Kieran might have just opted for goal with 20 metres out right in front to level this game up. Sheffield on a short ball there from Nsemba. Just burst through and Tuilola here. Does enough.
It's a heck of a run from Nsemba. Exactly the kind of thing we're used to seeing from him.
Yeah, all off the back of Liam Marshall, doubling up his carries and getting that offload away. But here comes Field.
Playing it very quickly here, Wigan. They can sense an opportunity. Leeming. Looking for some space away to Ellis. Big run forward. Three. Leeming back out towards Mago. 3 in the tackle again. And they're happy to wait for the opportunity here, Wigan. Leeming goes to his left this time. Ellis looked to get the ball away. Going for it himself, though. Burgess and Golding in the tackle. Holding their line now, Huddersfield.
Oh, loose ball.
Just lost it. Farriman will pick up the loose ball, though. Closer and closer the Wigan attackers get. Leeming out wide from Smith, out to Field. Field coming back inside, though, looking for options, and they're not forthcoming. Farriman, though, finds Farrell. Farrell out wide to the right-hand side, and too far for Eckersley. And the move breaks down.
Yeah, Zach Eckersley just can't take the ball in from Farrell. Jake Bibby rolls the dice and tries to read on Adam Kieran. And the pass just can't quite be executed enough. A couple of sloppy bits of play there. First one from Cruz Leeming, just doing a little bit too much. And then Liam Farrell and Eckersley, they can't finish that pass off.
Huddersfield then with a chance at the very least to try and relieve a bit of the pressure. Good running again from Tane Milne. He's had a really useful time with the ball so far. And this time the referee has decided that the Wigan players are spending too much time in the tackle there, and Huddersfield get a relieving penalty.
Yeah, they do. The second penalty of the afternoon given away by Wigan. It's Mago just in there too long.
8 minutes gone in the second half. This one coming right our way, just over our heads, just under the Mike Stevenson stand. So Lollahea gets it out to Golding, just short of the halfway line. Huddersfield gifted a chance to try and get this one closer to the Wigan line with George King. Huddersfield still leading by 12 points to 10 at the moment. As Clune gets it through the middle for Milne again.
There's a handful.
Real time there.
Yeah, he's a handful. Very strong upper body on him. Here comes Wilson.
Wilson again looking for the offload. But eventually has to take the tackle. Wolford just behind him. Golding waiting, but missed out. Clune, short pass to King. King just 10 short of the line. This is the last one for Huddersfield. Going short instead. Wilson getting wrapped up. Can he keep the ball alive? No, he can't. The referee blows the whistle, and that's another turnover.
Yeah, just tried to go for the power play there for Wally Wilson. It's well defended by the Warriors, and they've now got to go 90 metres up the other end of the field here. Important for the Giants to stay disciplined.
Smith getting tackled as Leeming Waits at dummy half.
There's Harvey Hill. Keeps his place on the bench.
Come on as a substitute. Leaving towards Farriman, quickly to Liam Farrell. There's a real difference in experience gaps between Liam Marshall and George Farriman there. One at the start of his career, the other in the twilight, but what a career Liam Marshall has had. Flanagan looking to push his way through. Eventually Wigan get him down. Milner once more. Just one or two tired looking bodies now amongst the Huddersfield players in the back line. They've really had to put a shift in the early stages of this second half.
Oh, he's lost the ball. Oh, it's a penalty. Jake Bibby wins a penalty.
And again, a bit of relief.
He just places it behind Liam Marshall's boot, and then as he moves away, just keep your eyes here. And he places the ball, Jake Bibby.
George King bringing it forward for Huddersfield. They still lead by 2 points. With 11 minutes gone in the second half now, as Ashton Golding. Wolford just behind him. Misses out. Greenwood finds Clue. Clue, half a gap. She almost got through. And the referee's blown his whistle again here. And he's having a lot to deal with here this afternoon, Liam Moore, in this second half.
Looks like George King's receiving some treatment. He got up quite gingerly after his carry earlier on.
Bit of claret. Just the side of his head, yeah.
Just above the right eyebrow there. Clune there, just half a chance, really. Gets in between Nsemba and Smith.
It's the afters that has caused the stoppage, so George King will have to go off from there, get himself strapped up before probably coming back on. I suspect there may be a head injury assessment as well. There usually is with these things. There you go. Just catching a bit of cruise leaving there by the looks of it. Wolford waits, plays it short for Clune. They want it quick here, down the hands they go, and the interception from Adam Kieran.
It was an aggressive right edge, and it had to be as well, because there was numbers on the outside. Clune's growing into this game even more. He's becoming more lively as Clune.
Having been under an awful lot of pressure in the early stages of the second half, Huddersfield now are given a set 20 metres from the Wigan line. Absolutely crucial from their perspective that they do something positive points-wise with this possession now. Clune, Milner. 10 short. Wolford waiting, setting everybody up away to his left-hand side. Clune quickly in towards Golding again. Steals another couple of yards. Wolford once more, goes short this time into Cudjoe. 3 in the tackle to bring down the old campaigner. He's got real options here though, Wolford. He's gone for his left instead.
Joe Greenwood bursts over the line for Huddersfield Giants, and given the opportunity of relieving the pressure, the Giants have scored again. Joe Greenwood depth down, and the Huddersfield Dreamers, just below us again, are believing that a famous victory could be on the cards.
Well, it looked for all Maureen Fraser that the ball was going to go to the right-hand side, but there's a little call there from the back row of Greenwood into Zach Wolford. Here I am, big man arriving, stop me if you can. And Farriman, he has to be better there than Joe Greenwood. The former Warrior, now turned Giant, hits his old employers hard.
And Luke Robinson and his team will be absolutely delighted with the way that not only they've scored there, but they've hit back after being pegged back by Wigan so early on in the second half.
Yeah, they've been really good value this afternoon. But the Warriors, their inability to defend that 20-metre zone away from their own try line has been quite alarming. Because the Giants haven't really had much possession down there. But I think they must have only had maybe 4, possibly 5 sets, but crucially have come away with 3 tries. And that defence, by their standards, I'm pretty certain won't be acceptable.
Flanagan. Chance then to add the extras. 2 from 2 for him so far in this game. And the fans below us making such a noise, encouraging their players. As Flanagan strikes, waved around a little bit in the wind there. But George Flanagan increasing the pressure, and now 10 points between these two sides.
Yeah, Joe Greenwood on a short crash ball gets his 2nd try in season 2025. And look at those fans, they're having a good afternoon out, young and old.
They are loving it here. Greenwood, of course, scored 12 tries in 43 games for Wigan between 2018 and 2020. He was a grand final winner with them in 2018, but his loyalties very much lying with the Huddersfield Giants at the moment. And he is the man who has put them further into the lead now, as Ashton Golding.
It's a neat offload there as well to Cudjoe.
It was brilliant work from Cudjoe as he steals an extra couple of yards as well. Wolford. They've got their tails up now again, Huddersfield, as they did at the back end of the first half.
I've been impressed with Zach Wolford as well this afternoon, Fraser. Nice width of pass there to Golding once again. He's had some impact off the bench and keeps his legs going.
Legs pumping, and he
an
gets it
offload there as well.
Wolford into the hands quickly of Clune and Milne. And away comes Gargai now on the right-hand side. Twisting and turning, Jacob Gargai. They still can't get him down. Eventually, Huddersfield get it away. Clune, well, he's tried to get that one forward, but the wind has caught it and he's gone backwards now. Clune back again. Gargai this time knocks it forward. Wigan come away with it. Golding goes in with a big challenge.
Yeah, I think something that's obvious that the Giants need to recognise is those kicks that are hanging. Perhaps they need to be along the deck, roll it into the corner. Because the hanging kick, he's almost just been pushed back to exactly where he left his boot.
Every time the ball goes in the air, it's a guessing game. Farrell tackled. Wilson being manhandled by Joe Greenwood to get off the tackle. Golding goes in for this one. Hunting in packs now. Huddersfield Giants defenders. As Harvey Hill goes upended. Leamy to the halfway line. And you've no idea what will happen with these kicks as Smith gets a high one up. Flanagan this time takes it well. And gets an extra couple of metres for his team. Just over 20 minutes remaining in this game. And Huddersfield Giants leading by 10 points. What a springboard this could be if I use that word, it's a big if, because there's still a long way to go in this game. But if Huddersfield Giants get 2 points here this afternoon, that could be a massive, massive boost to the rest of their season.
There's a lot of positives here for Luke Robinson to take out of it. Of course, there's still plenty of game time as Clune just floats that ball over the top. Jay Field catches it 2 metres away from his own line. But there's been lots and lots of good things here for Luke Robinson to digest. irrespective of the result, of course he'll want to see this game out for sure. But an improved performance, and it's been coming, you know, only a short loss against the Lee Leopards last time out. A much more steelier performance here this afternoon.
I think if you'd looked at their squad at the beginning of the season and saw the quality that they got there, you'd have been really surprised to see just how few points they've actually racked up as far as Super League competition points are concerned. But that has been the problem in terms of the injuries. It's decimated them at times. But now that they're not far off full sides, they are looking a totally different proposition and causing the champions all kinds of problems as Smith goes with a short kick, that one going to the byline.
Well, look, we've had the fortunate opportunity of calling many games, but this really feels like a good atmosphere for Huddersfield. You know, when you're at that stadium, sometimes it can feel lifeless, soulless, in fact. But here, the players feed off the crowd, Fraser, let me tell you. And especially in a one-try game, that can be the difference.
Yeah, all sorts of negotiations going on as to where Huddersfield might be playing in the not-too-distant future. But as I say, if you have a listen to the Bench podcast this week with Jenna and John, they speak to Ken Davey, who talks all about how he sees the future of the Huddersfield Giants.
Just listen.
Them in a smaller stadium so they can get this every week.
Just listen to this beneath us. Just urging their troops forward, urging them to see this victory out. Joe Greenwood might be in a spot of bother here.
Yeah, he's taken a bit of a knock to the back here, Joe Greenwood.
The game is clearly injured. Tackle 4.
Referee calls a halt to proceedings.
Yes, mate.
And Greenwood here, you can tell when a player like that goes down, he's not happy. He's taken a collision, I think, from Adam Kieran as he's gone down in the tackle here.
Just that left shoulder into his ribs of Joe Greenwood around that hip flexor area, making it very uncomfortable for Joe Greenwood. They hurt them ones, let me tell you.
We can see exactly from where we are. Joe Greenwood is right in front of us.
We just enter into the final quarter. An 18-10. A healthy lead for the Giants. Be one or two of those Warriors players in the next 8 to 10 minutes who start perhaps just looking at that clock, and a bit of scoreboard pressure may creep in.
Well, the last thing Luke Robinson wants is yet another injury.
It's a shame.
The injury treatment room has been clearing out of late. But Adam Swift has been the latest one who's been added, missing this game with a calf injury.
Seems to get one in and finds another one out.
This could be another one here if things don't go Joe Greenwood's way. He's taking a long time to get back to his feet. Well, applause from the Huddersfield supporters as Joe Greenwood gingerly makes his way off the pitch. It was the try scorer for Huddersfield that put them back in front in this game against Wigan, against his former club, of course.
You know, we talk about the presence of Msemba out on that left edge. Well, for the Giants, Joe Greenwood is equally of size. And we saw in that try that he's very difficult to handle close out.
So Ashton Golding, having only had a very short breather, has made his way back onto the pitch in place of Joe Greenwood.
And it looks like Leroy Cudjoe just moved from that loose forward roll out to this left edge, and Ash Golding will take up and lock that pack in through the middle of the field at 13.
5, move! Line boys, go 5.
So, into the last 20 minutes of this game, Huddersfield Giants still in front.
Surrender!
What have Wigan got in response as we approach the closing stages of the game? Farimund into Kieran.
Neil waits just behind for the ball to eventually come out. And it's Huddersfield's turn now to take a little bit of extra time in the tackles and try and draw out the clock and keep Wigan at bay. And Semba, lovely little back pass. Got it back here by the looks of things through Oliver Wilson.
Well, is that the first part of the scoreboard pressure I was talking about? When Semba offloads, and it's Wilson who reacts first.
Uncharacteristic error from the Wigan Warriors. Can Huddersfield Giants capitalise? Hewitt. Wolford just behind him. Flanagan coming into the line as Golding gets it out towards Powell. Wolford again. Goes to his left for Lollahea. In towards Cudjoe, wriggling away from 2 or 3 defenders. Stealing an extra couple of metres. Huddersfield getting closer and closer. And it's taking a long, long time. They play it quickly, though. Halsall going for the line. He's going to be held up just short as well.
Yeah, but again, when you've got 8 points ahead, might not be the prettiest end to the set. It's a decent way to finish.
Play will be reset here because it wasn't taken in the first instance in the longest. Eckersley being pushed back to the line here. And this is just the kind of defending, putting pressure on the attacking side that Luke Robinson will be delighted to see.
He just needs it another 4 more times.
Don't trap him, Liam. Don't trap him.
Again, look, 4 Huddersfield shirts around the ball, following it wherever it goes. Here's Nsemba. Toward the defence. Here's Marshall. Marshall streaking away down the left flank. Wigan, though, with possession, has gone a little bit loose. They might come away with it here. In towards the edge of the try line. Farriman is brought down just short. This is the last one. Wigan, though, still in possession. Nsemba down the line, getting close. So close. But look at the joy on the Huddersfield players' faces as they managed to keep him at bay.
Oh, wonderful pitches there for Luke Robinson. His team were opened up down the left-hand side of the field. They shift the ball. Farriman challenges, and then Nsemba's brought down 2 metres away from the line. They're able to get back behind the ball and rescue it.
Huddersfield now in possession, but it's bittersweet news that is coming from the touchline because Adam Clune has been taken off with a hamstring issue as a precaution. The good news that you can see, though, is that George King there has passed his head injury assessment. He patched him up. You can see he's got the bandage on there.
He cops another one high, wins his side a penalty.
But Adam Clune missing for the rest of the game by the looks of things. That's a major blow.
Yeah, it is. They have to do a lot of pressure now on Tui Lollahea.
That's a big impact on George King there.
It is. He's falling. There's not a lot they can do about it. You're just having a look at Ethan Havard here of where the contact actually is.
Well, the video referee, we understand, is having a look at this one in terms of what happened in that challenge.
And Nsemba gets out from marker and chops George King, and as he's falling, Ethan Havard just trying to get off his line. Catches him high.
There is a loss of height. Yeah, there's a loss of height. It doesn't meet the threshold for high level force. That's 2 mitigations. That's what makes the penalty. 2 mitigations.
There you are.
William Moore telling the players that there's mitigation there, which means it's only a penalty for Huddersfield Giants. Some would say common sense prevails.
Back up. All is 10 metres.
Huddersfield, though, with another chance to put some pressure on the Wigan defenders. They want to
play it very, very quickly now again. Huddersfield. There's so much determination, particularly for their players in the middle. And as I say that, that's a gift back to Wigan.
Oh, it's on in back play here.
Adam Kieran, it's all kicking off in back play. There are punches being thrown all over the place here. One guy being involved.
Well, we saw a punch-up last night. Eddie Garcia with his side under pressure.
Well, to have another look at this one, I think, through the eyes of the video referee, because that happened in back play while the ball was in a completely different place. So what actually happened here, we'll have a look.
Well, it's a wonderful contact there from Tristan, on Tristan Powell rather, but then it's underneath. He obviously doesn't react well to it. And there's a tangling of bodies there. You see it at the top left of your screen.
Tristan Powell going back for another bite after the initial contact.
Doesn't look like anything had been thrown on that.
Well, Liam Moore has decisions to make here. Meantime, Tristan Powell is being treated on the field for a bit of an injury sustained in that melee. It's the initial contact where he loses the ball, and then what happens afterwards in the middle.
Well, I think it's just a case of Tristan Powell probably more disappointed with himself that he's lost that ball. Perhaps a bit of head-on-head contact.
This might give us a better view.
I think it's Brad O'Neill's head. Maybe head-on-head contact. I don't think there's anything in that particularly.
Powell perhaps not happy with O'Neill.
Oh, there's nothing wrong with that.
Forward.
It's just a good shot. It's a good tackle by Wigan. Powell's clearly disappointed in himself there, losing that ball.
So Liam Moore has decisions to make here. Let's have a listen in to what he says to the two captains who are being summoned.
We've obviously got the knock-on by Huddersfield, okay, and then we've got players from both teams running together, okay. There's no one jumping out in particular. Players from both teams come together, so the on-field decision is the knock-on, okay, by Huddersfield. Now, two senior blokes with a lot of experience here, and with 15 minutes to go of a game, I'm going to give you this opportunity to speak to your boys, to diffuse it, okay? Don't force me to get involved and sit players down, okay? I'm going to give you the opportunity now to speak to your lads. Same with you, Leroy.
So, decision given.
Yeah. And the Giants fans underneath us, they're booing, but
In the middle.
it's just a perfect tackle. Dislodged the ball on a big man. Well, Wigan, we've got 15 minutes now to rescue this.
The upshot for Tristan Powell is that he's had to go off for a head injury assessment after that challenge. Meantime, Wigan have made a substitution as well.
Release him now!
Because Patrick Mago has come back on the field. O'Neill, though, into the middle for Ellis. Into the last 15 minutes. Huddersfield Giants still in the lead. And it's going to take 2 tries from Wigan if they're to snatch that lead back. Mago to the 10. Bustling his way forward for the champions. Ellis, Smith, wide to the left it goes, and Semba. None shall pass again, say the Huddersfield defenders. They've done a really good job of keeping him relatively quiet this afternoon. Can they keep it going? Smith plays it short in towards Mago. Mago again. 4 more tacklers in defence. This is the last one. Havard offloads it quickly. Down the left it comes to Nsemba once more. Here it is with Field. The ball has been lost. Marshall can't keep hold of it. It's spilled in the corner. And again, the Huddersfield Giants fans making lots and lots of noise.
Yeah, it was quick hands on that left edge. And Nsemba just dishes the ball out to Field. Use your pace. Catch and pass. They can't ice that opportunity. There's Giants players arriving. Whether Marshall will score or not remains to be seen. But the play falls apart.
Matty Pete with a lot to think about in these closing stages.
Well, I've no doubt an hour across to the east. There'll be a lot of Hull KR supporters tuning into this final part.
Having said that, you would never write off the Wigan Warriors.
I mean, there's still an awful long way to go this season. But a 4-point buffer might just be too much.
Huddersfield with a tricky set of fixtures coming up, though. 4 away games on the bounce before they take on Wakefield next time at home. So that is going to be a really tricky set of fixtures. Wigan have got 3 away on the bounce as well. Well, look at this. Sam Hewitt turns round and waves his arms to the fans to get them wound up, and just listen to the noise here. They should be playing here every week.
Oh, 100%.
Here is Wigan's next 5, as I mentioned, 3 on the trot away from home. Wakefield, Castleford and Lee. And then, of course, they face Huddersfield again, this time at the DW on the 11th of July. There'll be a score or 2 to settle in that game. This one not over yet, though. Ashton Golding bursting his way forward for the Giants.
He's had a great afternoon off the bench as Golding. Here comes Lollahea.
Lollahea shapes to go one way and then goes for Cudjoe. Cudjoe again. Players bouncing off him like a pinball. Wolford. Flanagan just behind him as well. Wolford, though, goes short of 4. Lollahea. Golding bouncing and turning. Can he keep the ball alive? He can't get the offload away. But Wolford goes short again for Burgess this time. Burgess very close. Right up against the line. They're sensing another chance here. Lollahea out towards Cudjoe. Brilliant defending again, though, by Wigan this time.
Well, that's fine from the Giants. Again, they have the scoreboard on their side. And they just turn the ball over once again, just end that set 1 metre away, deep inside the bottom left-hand corner of the field.
Look at the defending again, though, from Huddersfield. And it's George King with that bandage round his head. He's been in the wars this afternoon, but he's been on the try sheet as well. Quick play from Wigan as Mago. More post-contact meters for him, as you would expect, as O'Neill gets it quickly out towards Ellis. Just a flick ball over the top there. It's very well held. Oh, they got hold of it and finds Marshall. Surely that was possible. Referee says Paul.
Goodness me.
Marshall, it goes back. Harry Smith over the top of everybody for Farrimond. Quickly down to Eckersley. That was too far forward for Kieran. And again, the Huddersfield fans below us let him know exactly what they thought of that.
Yeah, I think the day belongs to the Giants. Look, there's 9 minutes left, and of course Wigan have the capability, the arsenal and the class to score another 2 tries. You just get a sense that this game is slipping away from them. I think the Giants have been worth every single penny of it.
Luke Robinson cutting a nervous figure in the director's box. They can hardly bear to look. But his side are 8 points to the good, with 9 minutes remaining in the game.
Well, the Giants just need to get through the set here. Kick the ball down long.
Oh, Burgess turned over, spun round in the tackle. You don't see that very often. Golding, who, as you say, Kyle, has had an absolutely superb
it's been quality
spell on the field since coming on as a substitute. Wilson quickly again for Lollahea. Cudjoe almost dropped it there. Does well to keep hold.
on the halfway line. Wolford, Lollahea with the spiralling kick. A tester for Field, but he does well. Marshall. The game has been played at a frenetic pace all the way through, Kyle.
Yeah, it's been end-to-end.
Eckersley.
Just the Warriors who are going to have to roll the dice at some point.
Here's one of those players that can do that, George Farrimond. As he finds Liam Farrell. Leeming, marshalling his troops, though, up towards the halfway line. Just into Huddersfield territory now. As Leeming gets it into the middle for Smith. Field coming away with it, skipping through. Lovely run from Jay Field, and he could be in here, Farrimond. And he is. And you never write off the Wigan Warriors. We're into the last 7 minutes of the game. They are closing in. And Huddersfield have got it all to do now if they are to seal a famous victory. But Farrimond has put Wigan within touching distance.
Well, you knew it was going to come about through Jay Field's fingerprints all over it. His 11th try assist. He just cuts down that right edge of the Giants. The ball back inside to the supporting Jack Farrimond to collect his second try. And how important that may be, as Adam Kieran for sure will knock this over and take us to a 2-point ball game.
He's right in front of the sticks here. Adam Kieran, he makes no mistake. And we are set for a grandstand finish.
Well, how are your nerves, Giants fans? Jay Field just gets on the outside of Kieran Rush, sorry. Jack Farrimond, who releases the pass to Field, supports up through the middle of it, and races away in front of the travelling Warriors supporters. Don't you just love it when games go all this way?
Well, it's great for us as neutrals.
Oh, horrible when you're out there.
I'll tell you what, if you're a Wigan or a Huddersfield fan, you'll be no nails left on your fingers. They'll be chewed to bits. Marshall. This time, getting hold of the ball despite the wind. And Semba, I still have a funny feeling he's got something left in the tank that could be a real big moment in this game.
You just feel that each and every one of these Wigan carries are just going to have perhaps a little bit more intent and purpose about them than the Giants. They can't back off, they can't wait.
There you go with that run. Smith, who's got a bit of wadding up his nose by the look of things, having taken a bit of a bang to the hooter. As Mago now trying to force his way through. This is where
he's lost it.
Really going to be crucial. Mago has lost the ball. Again, the Huddersfield fans celebrate.
He's always trying to promote the ball. He tries to come up with an offload just as he's twisting. And he just spills it under pressure from Leroy Cudjoe. Tom Burgess in there as well. And that's a sigh of relief for the Giants.
What on earth must be going through their minds? Who'd be a coach? Well, you tried it for a little while and it wasn't exactly bed of roses, was it? Let's be fair.
First game here.
Gargai on the far side for the Huddersfield Giants. We're into the last 5 minutes of this game. 5 minutes to see whether or not Huddersfield Giants can hang on or whether Wigan Warriors can turn it round.
I make it there. If it goes set for set, the Giants have probably got about 18 more tackles to deal with.
Wolford in through the middle for Wilson. You're going to have to start thinking as well, Kyle, about your Betfred player of the match.
Yeah.
I think there will be a number of worthy candidates this afternoon. Don't tell us who it is, just have a think. And we'll reveal it a little bit later on. In through the middle, down to the right-hand side again. Kieran Rush has come on as a substitute.
And just decides to run that ball on last. Just trying to buy land. Here comes Liam Marshall.
Tristan Powell has passed his head injury assessment. They're going to get a penalty.
Ashley Golding all over Liam Marshall.
And we said it, mistakes and errors will no doubt prove to be crucial in this game.
Well, they fixed it up in the second half. It's actually the Warriors who perhaps were guilty of errors and penalties. But they're coming home here with a wet sail. Cade Ellis, 40 metres away here, Fraser. Or push back.
Into the middle for Mago. Mago, still going Mago. Cudjoe, all over him. Wigan still coming forward through Farrimond. Just over 10 metres rather short of the line. Kieran in towards Leeming. Again, down the line it goes, and Semba. And Semba, there's a hand in there, and they'll get away, but the hand was in, and that'll go down as a knock-on.
Oh, goodness me.
Huddersfield then putting themselves under a little bit of pressure. 10 metres from the Huddersfield line. We've got a captain's challenge again, though. And once more, we'll go to our video referee, Aaron Moore.
So the captain's challenge, Huddersfield are challenging the ruling of a knock-on. So we'll play it on from here. So the ball's passed by Smith. It going through here. Floated by Junior December. And then Jacob Gagai knocks the ball down forward. Challenge unsuccessful.
No challenges now, boys.
Wow, it was a bit of a clutching at straws one, that, I think, really. Was it just to slow the clock down, perhaps?
Yeah, well, it was worth a challenge just to get some oxygen back into the lungs, because they have got the most important set to deal with here this afternoon. The Warriors, 10 metres out, centre of the field, with pace to burn both edges.
Look how quick Wigan want to form the scrum to get the game back underway.
Oh, he's lost the ball.
They're pushing forward here. Tom Burgess shoving his way through the scrum.
Look what it means.
Look at them celebrate. Tom Burgess, a powerhouse in the Huddersfield pack.
Oh, Huddersfield, they just push forward. Cruz Leeming spills the ball. And is that the moment that seals a famous win for the Giants?
All the experience that Tom Burgess has, and at this stage in the game to come up with something like that, that tells you everything you need to know about the quality of that player. Huddersfield now then with the chance to relieve the pressure.
They've got to get through this set, and they've got one more to defend, one more set to see it home.
Huddersfield fans below us crossing their fingers with all their might as a big tackle goes in there on Mill. Kieran's still got his arm in there. Referee shouting to him to let go of the tackle on Tane Milne. George King, who's been a real hero for Huddersfield this afternoon. Wilson. Wilson has gone backwards, has it? Referee says play on. Flanagan going down in the tackle. This is the last one. This has to be a good kick. It's gone to Lollaher. Lollaher does get a kick, but it comes off a Wigan player. Chaos in the middle of the field here as Wigan have it just over the halfway line. We're into the last minute. Farrimond eventually is tackled. Eckersley just behind him. Referee screaming at the players for them to get on with it. Leeming away to the left-hand side for Smith, and then Semba, and now with Field. Well, they're not sure what to do with it here, Wigan.
Well, they're losing ground. They've gone back 10 metres there. Here comes tackle 4.
Leeming, quick hands again. Liam Farrell. Farrell brought down, that's the fourth. Leeming again. O'Neill, Smith, and Semba. And Semba brought down 12 metres short. This is the last one, but this is it. It's all or nothing now for Wigan Warriors as they go down the line with Field. High ball over the top to Eckersley, back inside. Oh! Can you believe it? Can you believe it? Seconds left on the clock. Jack Farriman in the corner. Never ever right off the Wigan Warriors. A try on the field, says the referee Liam Moore. We'll send it to the video, Aaron. But it looks as though Wigan Warriors may well have got themselves out of jail. What a finish to this game. Or is it? Aaron Moore will have the last word.
Tackle 5, we have an on-field decision of a try. Looking at touchline and grounding. So the ball's passed back inside by Eckersley. Farriman's going towards the line. Can we just have another angle on that, please? Corner angle. Probably camera 9 would be best, this one. So Farriman's in possession, still in possession of the ball. Just go back on that, please. Just go back. We know he's in the field of play. Yeah, play it through here. Farriman's in possession of the ball, always in the field of play, and the ball's grounded. Thank you, I've seen all I need.
Well, week after week after week, Super League brings you drama, and it's done it yet again. Wigan Warriors, having been dead and buried halfway through this second half, have pinched it.
Wow. Jack Farriman has pinched the pockets of the Huddersfield Giants. It's what champion sides do. They've been second best, it has to be said, on the balance of over the course of the 80 minutes. But they just find a way, don't they? And Jack Farriman on the hooter slides over and gets his second of the afternoon. The ball over the top from Field. Eckersley, who just passes the ball back inside, and Farriman gets low and he gets over in the corner. And goodness me, get out of jail. It sure is.
There's no getting away from the fact that this has been a below-par performance from the Wigan Warriors, as Liam Marshall beautifully from the sidelines strokes that ball between the posts. It is heartbreaking, utterly heartbreaking for the Huddersfield Giants, who with seconds to go in this game thought they were on the verge of a famous victory against the champions. But they are not champions for nothing. They know how to get out of jail, and that's exactly what they've done in this game in the dying seconds. What a finish.
What a finish to an incredible game here this afternoon, thoroughly entertaining. And Luke Robinson, he just must be thinking, what on earth does he have to do? A spirited performance against the champion side. A champion side who weren't firing on all